Well, uh, perfect start. Welcome aboard and welcome back. Hope you've had a lovely um, summer and hope you're ready to do some collaging. I think it was May that we had our last collage jam, and so there's a lot of water under the bridge and a lot of stuff going on. I hope you had an excellent summer. Let us know in the comments if you did any sort of collaging kind of things during the summer, whether you took a break. Probably most of you know. Probably most of you know that I had a lot of things going on in my summer. It's I kind of need back to my regular routine for a break. Let's see. After our last collage jam in the spring, what did I do? I taught a couple of weeks in Halliburton. I had a show at 1 Adelaide Street East with several collage pieces there, including an artist talk, cringy voice and all. And that cringy voice is particularly in evidence today. I haven't really been doing much vocal practice, so that's why I sound so bad. Hey, Janice, welcome aboard. Janice is someone up in Midland, and she's joining us for I believe, the first time. So welcome aboard, Janice. Awesome to have you along. But as I was saying, I had that show at 1 Adelaide, and then I had to get ready for the show at Quest, which is where I met Janice, and which comes down in just at the end of this week. Yeah, and I've been doing other things as well. I had a big, like an awesome big hotel commission, so that's exciting. That there's a hotel downtown that is doing major renovations and will be reopening in early January, at least that's the schedule, featuring my artwork in 189 suites, including and as well in the halls. So that's really exciting. And Philippa, hey, how are you? Yay, how are you? Good to see you. Great to have you back and along. And oh, thank you about the Midland show. That was my first attempt to try the very large scale prints, and I'm hooked. It's not cheap, but it is so worth it to see them that massive. So thank you. And just recently, what have I been doing? I've been working on just getting, I have a course starting on Thursday, so getting that prepared, and working on an exhibition assistance grant for Quest. So yeah, lots going on. How about you guys? Let us know in the comments what you've been up to in the summer. Was it a chill summer? Was it a, did you do any cool art things during the summer? And Annie, hey, great to have you along, Annie. Nice to see you. Yeah, the commission is amazing. It paid real money. They were really kind. They were easy to work with, very encouraging. So yeah, that was awesome. Philippa is asking about my prints at Quest Art. I get all my printing done for both my framed prints and those. At a place called Art Printing Studio, and it's in Oakville at Branton Lakeshore. It's a small shop, mom and pop shop, and the guy who owns it, his name is H-E-E, and he does an amazing job. He's meticulous. He's conscientious. I don't think I've ever got something from him and said like, oh, this doesn't look right. It's always bang on. It looks awesome. So yeah, so highly recommended. you can find you can find them online, and if you're not in Oakville, you can send them files across the internet, and they have a way to upload your files, and then they will print them, and then you can go get them. Yeah, but their framing is great. They're yeah, they Kim and I use them all the time. Yeah, so let us know what you guys have been up to, and I've sort of given you my rundown. And what have we got? So we've got Vanishing Point is our optional prompt for today. So it's really up to you how you interpret that. I mean, those of you guys who have done some work with perspective, I have upon occasion taught a perspective course. It's not my favorite thing, but for those of you know, that's where parallel lines converge. Like if you were looking on the prairies in a highway, the sides of the road converge at the vanishing point. So, or a city block, and you look at all the vertical line, all the lines at window lines or tops of buildings and so on will all converge at the vanishing point. So, so that's the sort of more literal, but maybe you have a more interpretive way of going about the idea of vanishing point. So maybe it's where suddenly things vanish, which would be kind of fun. So, hey, Jane, you made it. Awesome. Yeah. Nice to have you back and along. How's Colin? How has your summer been? Yeah, Janice says disappearing act for vanishing point. Yeah, so maybe it's where magicians put things at the vanishing point. So I'll switch to my overhead camera in a minute, but I'm just reading some of the comments. Philippa says summer was great, always too short, lots of birding and painting, awesome. I've fallen in love with cardboard as a substrate, especially pizza boxes. I love that. I think one of the first things I got smitten with when I was moving from design to art, or starting out, sort of restarting my art career rather than my design career, was corrugated cardboard. I just loved it. Like, you can peel the top layer away and you got these ridges underneath, and I loved that it was so low tech, and that it rots. I don't know why I love that, but it just set me free. It meant I didn't have to worry about archival materials or whatever. So yeah, there's something, and it's such an interesting color as well. So yeah, it doesn't, if you want to make an archival piece, maybe not the best thing to include, but it is so fun. So Jane says summer went by too fast. Colin's doing well. That's good. Awesome. Stable in his heart failure. Yikes, which is fine. That's good. Got away to a cottage for 8 days. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Kim and I were hoping to get away, and we didn't because there was just stuff going on. So yeah. Got away to a cottage, created some fabric paper over the summer to hopefully use in collage. Awesome. What is fabric paper? That sounds cool. Oh, you mean like with a high rag content? That's neat. Yeah. And is it cut? Did you put additional things in it? Was it like a paper making thing where there's color and little additions, or is it like, tell us a little more? Annie says summer was great if she ignores her daughter's stressful, eventful life. Oh yes, the kids will put our heart through its paces, won't they? Highlight was my niece's wedding at the Spanish Banks Beach in Vancouver. Awesome! Wow, a wedding on the beach is like, man, like it's a stress fest if the weather is iffy, but if the weather cooperates, it's magic, right? And on a beach in the Pacific Ocean, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, Janice was asking the same question. Jane, what is fabric paper? So let us know in the comments. And I'm going to get started with collaging. I have zero idea what I'm doing, but it'll probably start with some converging lines, and then I'll just see where that goes. So um, as let us know in the comments if you are going to collage on the basis of the prompt or whether you're going to work on something else, which is totally cool. The prompts, just for those of you who are new like Janice, prompts are always optional. They are just there if you want something to latch onto to start with. I often find that having a definite starting point helps me get going. And then sometimes the prompt goes out the window because I get cooking and I realize, oh, this is actually going in a different direction. That's totally cool. And some people love the prompt so much they'll do multiples, right? So it's completely up to you how you use the prompt, if you use it, really. And you can just, if you would rather, you can just hang out with us. Some people just hang out and listen and watch, and some people make 5 collages, and sometimes, usually Kat gets about half of one done. Janice says definitely prompt to start. Yeah, I think it's like the little piece of grit that the oyster needs to start making the pearl. And sometimes mine are pearls, sometimes they just get to be bigger pieces of dirt, but that's the way the creative process is, right? Philippa says, I'm thrilled that things are going so well for you artistically. Thank you, Philippa. Yeah, me too. I just keep saying thank you. Really, that's what I'm doing. Because so many great opportunities. It's been I think more great stuff in my art career has happened in the last few months than in the last few years, which, who knows how long it will last, but I'm just soaking it up and saying my gratitude prayers as much as I can. So Jane is setting us straight. Fabric paper is basically using medium diffuse thin paper. Ooh, that sounds interesting. And away, message retracted. Okay, well, obviously she wanted to change how that was written, so we'll stay tuned. Meanwhile, I'm going to switch to my overhead camera and get this party started. So, and you guys can feel free to get going too. And I will chat, and I'll check up on the chat every so often. You guys can chat with each other, and yeah, let's see where it goes. So it's going to go black for just a few seconds while I transfer it to its overhead position. So be back in a sec. Not going anywhere, just going to the mount, rather than having like crazy dizzy making stuff going on while I move the camera. And let's get this set overhead here. Hopefully it gets focused where everything it was there. That's my cord in the way. Get that out of the way. All right, good. The light is looking a little dodgy. Let's see. This is better. All right, hopefully the light will be okay. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. This voice is weak. It was actually doing pretty well for a while, but I've sort of stopped doing practice, which one should never do, right? So yeah, so it's a little weak right now, so hopefully you can hear me. I will try to direct it towards the mic when I'm talking, but you might not hear me as well when I'm actually working, so fingers crossed. All right. And believe it or not, oh, thanks, Philippa, that's good. Yeah, it's not strong, but if you can hear it, that's a win. So I really haven't done any collaging for quite a while, so which feels bad, but it feels good to be getting back to it. I did a bit I did a fair bit for the hotel gig, because I did a lot of different collages so that they had different ones to choose from. And then really I've been working on either installing shows or applying for grants or doing professional things. I've also entered the Contemporary Collage Awards, in the hopes of getting a little ooh, in the hopes of getting a little profile, a little promotion. So yeah. All right. So Jane has reset her thing about the paper fabric. Paper fabric fused to cheesecloth, very thin sheets like tissue or cocktail napkins. Oh, that sounds awesome. So the the cheesecloth gives it the strength and does the medium, right? Um, and so that's cool. Um, no, it's not the Gladstone. It's actually, I can tell you guys it's probably fine. It's called the Union Hotel, and it's very near Union Station. It used to be called the Strathcona. Um, yeah, so it's no, it's really exciting. But I think they're scheduled to reopen in in January. Now that'll probably get pushed back because it's a big project, but that's the current ETA. And Jane says one ply at a time as far as adding the medium, I presume, right? And so it it with the medium it would take acrylic paints pretty well, right? So is that the idea, or because it would be harder to glue if it has medium in it, but I guess you could glue it with medium, right? So yeah. Oh, I hope you're going to do some collages with it and post them in our Collage Jam group on Facebook so we can see how it looks, Jane. All right, so I definitely feel a little rusty, but it feels good just to have paper in hand again, like just, I've actually been doing a lot of digital stuff apart, like for the hotel, I did some analog collaging, but then a whole bunch of digital work on it afterwards. And for the artist project and so on, I've been doing a lot of like optimizing digital files and so I've been working on the computer a lot. So having paper in hand, it feels so good. Good to be back. I think maybe I might play with the idea of a vertical this time, I think, for some reason. That seems appealing. And I think what I'm going to do is just start with a horizon line and maybe make some kind of a simple landscape or landscape feeling. Maybe it'll be an abstract that has a bit of a landscape feel. Wow. So students give me all kinds of lovely things and to collage with. And I think if memory serves, this paper is from Linda Noppy, who's in Collingwood now. And it is Nepalese handmade paper. It seems almost sacrilegious to use something so beautiful, but I'm gonna And look at this torn edge. It's like, it's so feathery. It's amazing. I love it. And so let us know in the chat what do you have a do you have a particular idea for Vanishing Point, or a particular approach? What kind of materials are you using? I'm getting started with just some the Nepalese paper, obviously, and then some just colored paper. Keep it simple to begin with. I think that's a brand new one. I want to use up whatever. If I have some ones that are partially used, like this one, use them up first. I don't know about you guys, but I buy my glue sticks in 12 packs now because I go through them so quickly. So you can buy 12 packs at Staples, and it's a little more economical, but it also means I don't run out as easily, and it also means I can have extra if I need to take a bunch to a workshop, because inevitably students will come to a collage workshop with one glue stick or an old glue stick that they didn't check to see whether it was still functioning. And so I always have to have extra. People are like, I never imagined I'd use so much. And like, especially if we're doing something like decollage, you need a lot of glue sticks. So I'm forgetting that I wanted to have this piece down first. That's classic. All right, quickly glue that on there first. And I'll come back to the comments in a couple minutes and just check in. And did anyone see any good art shows? And to those of you who are going to say mine, that's kind of you, but I wasn't actually angling for that. But any other shows at the AGO or somewhere else that you found inspiring? I don't think we got out to see any other shows, which is awful. I can't believe I'm saying that. So this fall we'll definitely have to get out and see more shows. Oh, and Kim says to say hello to you all. She's doing pretty well. She's tired right now because she's taking an exercise class at Wellspring as part of her cancer recovery, and so that's awesome because it's everything through Wellspring is free, and so I forget whether it's 8 weeks. I think it's 8 or 10 weeks, maybe even 12 weeks. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's twice a week, and so she's always like wasted by the time she gets back from that. But it's really they really customize it to her situation, and so she's really finding it beneficial. I'll text her, and maybe because I'm in my studio off at one end of the house, I'll text her and just see if she wants to stick her head in and say hi later once she's recovered a bit. Which would be, I'm sure she'd be happy to hear from you guys. All right. Well, I'm suggesting to her that she, if she wants to, she could do it just near the end because that'll give her some time to recover. And let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Um, yeah, Jade says she's hoping to use that paper. She'll post some of what she created so we can see what it looks like. Awesome. Thank you. That's perfect. Philippa says, I so appreciate that in spite of being so busy or contribute. Oh, thank you, Philippa. I love to do it. I really, it's I love, it's a nice little group and I like being here. So, yeah, so thank you. Annie says, I'm doing the Inktober. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's always good. They always have great prompts too, right? Challenge this month. Was going to sketch the Great Wall of China. Maybe I will collage it a bit. Oh, that's awesome. Definitely has a vanishing point. It definitely does. That's awesome. And yeah, collage and drawing go really well because you could like collage an interesting background out of several different papers and then draw over top of it. And so different papers will take the ink differently, so that can be really fun to play with. So yeah, it could be ink and collage tober and still be completely valid. So in response to my question about shows, Philippa says the only show has been this summer is yours. Oh, thank you, Philippa. Philippa says, way to go, Kim. I can totally relate to being tired after an exercise class. Yes, that is the point, right? Hey, Cherie, yay, how are you? She says, sorry I'm late, so glad to be back. So glad to have you back, Cherie, awesome. And before last night, I was looking through, I have to admit, I hadn't been on our Virtual Collage Jam Facebook page in a while. So I was taking a look at what was posted there, and I saw, Cherie, that you had some excellent successes. So congratulations on that. Some good shows. So awesome to hear and see. Yeah, so I always love to hear about our members doing well. So whenever you have a success, like you get into a juried show or have a show of your own or whatever, please let us know. You can publicize it in the Virtual Collage Jam group, mention it in the chat on Virtual Collage Jams. It's good. It's really good when we can support each other, right? So. I'm so well prepared that I don't even have a pair of scissors. I thought, oh, I got my knife. That's all I need. I do like to use scissors on occasion, though. So hopefully I've got them somewhere here. All right, no scissors. I'll just go with the knife. That's fine. I'll just roll with it. It's just the universe saying, you know what? You'll be fine with just the knife. Sorry, sometimes I go quiet when I'm in the middle of thinking. Not that I'm really thinking hard for this one, but it doesn't take much to stall this little brain of mine. All right, so on the show's planet, Annie got out to see Maria Clara or Ciara Einhardt's show at AGO with planets and moons. Sat with my niece's fiance, now wife, at the kids table and sketched our favorite piece. Awesome, that's so great. And Cherie says, do you know that the bulk of the work that I had accepted into juried shows has been born in the Virtual Collage Jam props? Awesome. Hey, Kathleen, welcome aboard. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you for that. And Kathleen, nice to have you back. I hope you've had a good summer. And that did you get out to see any shows? Did you do any collage work or any artwork over the summer, or did you take a break? All of the above. Let us know in the comments. So great to have you back. Nice to have our community pouring in. As for what I'm doing, I am here. I'm really not thinking very much, and that suits me just fine. I'm just doing some converging lines and calling that the extent of my planning or thinking. And sounds good to me. Cherie says she has tickets to attend Art Toronto at the Metro Convention Center. Awesome. Always come away with ideas and inspiration. Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't been there for a while now, but maybe this year I'll go. Is that in October, Cherie? I seem to recall it's usually towards the end of October. Is that right? Yeah, someone was saying to me that it's almost Thanksgiving, and I'm like, yikes, that just seems impossible, but there's a reason, because it's true. just love this white edge, this white torn edge. So I'm just seeing if there's a way for it to play in here. I'm sure there is. I'm just not quite sure what it is yet, but I'm sure it'll find its way. All right, just playing with some flat colors. And, you know, it's just nice to be working with paper again. It's been a while. So just giving myself permission to not worry about it. Just play, see where it goes. And I think that's, especially when I think when you've been away from it for a little while, I think that's really a good idea. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just not sweat it. I'm definitely out of practice though, because I don't have my tools nearby. No scissors. I'm missing my tape. But it's all good. It's all good. All right, let's try that again. This isn't going to really help me. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so Cherie says it's October 24th to 27th. Thanks for the dates, Cherie. Is anyone else planning to go? Annie says, great, Cherie, having your art in jury shows. Yeah, absolutely. Kathleen says, like Jane, I did the paper fabric or fabric paper project. Oh, cool. Was that in Nielsen, you guys? Or yeah, let us know. And a couple of others I found on YouTube. Cool. I'm just getting back into the swing of setting aside specific times for art. Yeah, you have to, right? But sometimes it's also good to get a break, get away from it for a little while and come back refreshed. So yeah, that's awesome. Janice says, check out John Bier Gallery Online Juried Collage Show. I have one piece in there. Congrats, Janice. That's awesome. Cherie says, thanks, guys. I'm going to challenge myself to work a little bigger. Usually I'm in the standard 8.5 by 11. Yeah, and so going a little bigger is a good thing. You might want to work with a pad that's like 12 by 16 or even bigger, like depending on how adventurous you're feeling. It's a good idea, I think. Cherie says, I plan to go to the Oakville printers that Kal and Kim have spoken of in the past. Yeah. Yeah, and Cherie, just before you joined us, we were talking about that. It's called Art Printing Studio, and it's on Lakeshore at the foot of Brant Street, I think. So, yeah, it's highly recommended. Cherie says, congratulations, Janice. I got 2 accepted. Awesome. So look at how, and she knows Lisa Kemp and Jane Laster Gordon were accepted as well. Awesome. Yeah, Virtual Collage Jam was well represented. Awesome. So Janice and I were talking at my show on Saturday. Because she's up in Midland and she's up there and she doesn't have a car, and she said she moved up there from the GTA and that she's feeling like she's feeling isolated. She said there isn't nearly as much culture as she hoped, and finding art was really hard. So I was encouraging her to start living more online, because there's so many opportunities to like take classes or listen to art talks online, and there are just so many opportunities. And I mentioned Collage Jam, so that's why she's here. But it's true, when you're in a place that's sort of a small town, you have to work harder to find artistic community. So I'm really happy that you found at least this, and you can work on it some more. Janice, another thing that I forgot to mention when we were chatting, a bunch of the virtual collage jammers here also use, there's Paris Collage Collective, and if you just look that up online, mostly here I use written prompts like a word or phrase, but they always use an image and they make it available. You can download it, and then you can collage with it and post it on social media with the tag, and then you can look and see what other artists did with that same image. So that's another way that you can be more involved from wherever you are, right? So I don't think Val is with us today, but Valerie Ashton does those Paris Collage Collective prompts so often, and I know Lisa does, and some of you others, Cherie does them as well. So yeah, there are, once you start sort of finding and looking, you find these opportunities. So, and if anyone else who's has any other ideas for Janice for where to find some artistic / collage community online, let her know in the comments. That'd be great, because we can all help each other out, right? So, so Janice says, cool, Cherie, we'll check it out. Yeah, Jane says, yes, congrats to fellow collagists who are in the art gallery. That's awesome. Cherie says, I use the Paris Collage Collective as my weekly creative workout. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Jane says, what was disappointing for me regarding AIRD, I was told both of mine were accepted, but when the catalog came out, only one was in. Oh, that's a drag. Or maybe they only put, did they have 2 in the physical show? No, it was a digital show, right? So yeah, I don't know. When I wrote to Carla to ask the other, absolutely no response. Tried, oh, right. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's disappointing. Yeah, well, I understand that curators have a lot to handle, but that is disappointing for sure. I'm sorry, Jane. But on the plus side, one in, one in is good, right? So a lot better than none. So. All right. Well, I need some more feeling to this. What else? Oh, it's been a while since I did any sort of teaching, so I forget what it's like to try and speak while I'm working. So so I apologize that I'm going silent on you a couple of times there. I have to get my my inner extrovert out and dust her off and get her used to being in public again. I am an introvert, but I can extrovert when I need to. Usually, anyway. Not every single time, but usually. How about you guys? Are you ambiverts as well? I think most people are. They have some aspect of introvert and extrovert in them. Some people are definitely way one direction or way the other, but and I lean towards introvert, but I can extrovert when I need to. It also depends on context, right? If it's the more confident I am or the more comfortable I am. So in art circles, for instance, I am more comfortable, obviously. So it's interesting. I'm kind of looking at creating converging lines here, which I think is good. But I sort of am realizing that I'm sort of breaking it up into equal or possibly equal. So I'm going to try and avoid that and try and be a little more, try and vary it a little more than that. Yeah, I like that. This moment of quiet brought to you by cat slipping into introvert mode again. Sorry about that. So I kind of like the idea of this line like continuing and like completely straight from one end to the next. Of course, now I've got a bit of glue smear there, but oh well. Like straight down from across the, and then I like the way it's left this little narrow strip. I like that too. So that's nice, I think. I also like the way this is dark gray, like construction paper, and then this is a blacker paper, and they're quite similar, but not absolutely the same. So they sort of unite, but also have a little difference. Maybe I'll bring another slice or two of the black in somewhere else. In fact, I'm thinking that maybe like a really, what about, okay. Kind of feel like these are a bit like landforms. I know there's something skinnier than that though, so trim it down. You know, it's really simple, but I just love the interplay of like a crisp edge and a torn edge. So I've got like a few different kinds of torn edges, right? Like this Nepalese paper gave me a really, really, almost feels like fire. This is like the white exposed edge, and then these two pieces of black paper have just like a more subtle but still nice sort of torn edge to them. And then having the super crisp edges, this one too. You know what else? It's I've been doing a lot of work, obviously, using magazines, using magazines and fashion imagery, as you would expect, and that's not going away anytime soon. But it's kind of fun to do something with this kind of material for a change. Just a little bit of cross training. That's fun. Not sure quite how to use it, but I like this sort of black on black. You probably can't even see it very well. Yeah, you can't on the screen. But there's this rougher torn edge. There, you can add there. That shows it all a bit better, and I like that. It's super subtle, but it's. I want to use that somehow for sure. I think it needs to be something that does this. What? Just trying to figure it out. Oh. And can I even articulate what I'm searching for? Yeah, probably not. What if? I bet I'll be able to articulate it once I figure it out. Once I've actually done it. I've had to do a fair bit of writing about my like writing artist statements and so on recently for my show and for my I did an application to the Contemporary Collage Awards show, and I'm now doing an application for exhibition assistance for an Ontario Arts Council. And so so I've been having to write about what I do, and I think ask any artist. Like writing the artist statement stuff is it's not easy. It does. Um, some people are better at it than others, but um, I don't enjoy it, but I do find it instructive, and so the more I write about it, the more I sort of understand my own work, which I think is really great. So things that I like before I did all that writing, if I had to articulate stuff, I'd be like, well, I don't know. I don't even know that it's what I'm doing is valid. Does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. But the more you write about it, the more it actually does make more sense. So um, it does give you insights that you might not have otherwise. And given how hard it is, it's good that there's some sort of silver lining. I will check in with comments in just a minute or two after I've got this little part figured out. Oh, let's cut it and sort that out a bit. Yeah. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, yeah, Cherie says in response to Jane, which was a little while ago, I know, but disappointing, Jane. Toast of the Town was in the layout master, but sounds like a layout editor error. That's too bad. Hey, Nellie! Nellie has joined us. How are you, Nellie? Sorry, you probably typed that a little while ago, but I'm just looking at the comments now. Welcome aboard. Where are you joining us from, Nellie? Awesome. Thank you for coming along. Let us know what you're working on. Are you using the prompt? Are you just watching? Cherie says, I love the term ambivert. Never heard it referred to before. Even people, even Google has it. Learn something new every day. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it before a little while ago either, but it's perfect. Like it really suits me anyway. All right, so right now I'm wondering about something which is about how slavish I'm going to be to this vanishing point, because I was thinking maybe it would be more interesting if a few things didn't quite, they headed sort of towards the vanishing point, but not quite. Maybe that would be interesting. Um, I mean, obviously, things like this are heading towards it, then they stop, which I should do more of anyway, have some other pieces out here. But I was just thinking that kind of looks cool to have it break out. So, interesting challenge is the word. I think personally, um, yeah, I think I'm going to do that because I think it's more interesting. So I have a predilection to be pretty slavish to rules I set up for myself. And then when I do break out of them, I'm really happy I did. So I think I'm gonna go with that. And who knows what that'll mean for the rest of this piece. Maybe it'll start going haywire. But maybe haywire is where it needs to go. So I just flipped it over to cut off the excess by just using the edge of the pad. So that I see what my composition is looking like. That's fun. All right. I have the feeling that I want to stick with mostly the more graphic kind of things, but and maybe a little bit of just a hint here and there of like photographic stuff or stuff that has a little more visual texture. Not to use the image, but to use the textures of the image. So I'm going to slice a few pieces and see whether that actually is, whether that instinct is right or not. Just to have it as part of a mix, I think might be interesting. Yeah, I'm liking that. I think so. With that. And How are your collages coming, guys? Are you have you got any? How are your ideas coming? Have you got anything cooking that you like? What are you using it more conceptually or more literally? The idea of vanishing point. Let us know. I just realized I'd lapsed into silence again. Sorry, guys. um, as I was wondering about putting this piece in and thinking about the idea of like playing with a few things that don't quite, that feel sort of right but not quite right, and I think that's compelling to me. So I'm just gonna play with that a bit more. Not quite right, but perfectly, but more fun. So I'm not quite following the perspective, but I don't know, adding some sort of dynamism, even though there's dynamism to the perspective as well, but having little things that break that somewhat. You know what I think it is? You know, when you have harmonies where what makes harmony, like in music, not that I'm a musician, but is all these things that are quite similar but not the same. It's kind of like kind of like an analogous color scheme. You know, they're not the same color, but they're related. I think that's what these lines that are going sort of towards the vanishing point, but not quite. Like this one's missing it, that one's missing it. But we feel this convergence, and then we have these other things that don't, that are sort of converging but sort of not. So I think it's kind of like a perspective harmony, but it's also a little bit of dissonance too, because it's not staying on. So I think it's giving it a little more interest, a little more energy. Sometimes, like, and this is why I've been doing, like, not this specific thing, but related to why I do decollage, because it gives me surprises, and I think surprises are like, if I need things that don't quite make sense to make things look more interesting. So I think that's what's happening here. So I'm going to go with that. All right, good. At the risk of losing my mind here with more options, I'm going to give myself a few more options and see where they go. I just saw this, pulled this out of my blue drawer and saw these lines, sort of marionette style. I'm thinking, should those come in here? I'm not sure. Don't think I want the image of the hand, but or the ring, I don't think. But yeah, so maybe not. But there was something about those lines that I thought, yeah, they might be. Maybe it's a different sort of line. Maybe that's what that was there to give me the thought of, is adding a line, but not that particular. I have this sense that I want, like, a little piece of photographic sky to go up here, that I can then have, like, a sharp edge to, and then this is everything I'm describing. I'm not sure it's quite the one I want, but yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go digging in my blue drawer, see what I can find. Let's see, maybe this one. This might be too intense otherwise. I was thinking about something less intense than that. Let's see whether this one might work. We'll see. So yeah, I think this is more what I was looking for, which is I still want to have this sort of pattern of graphic stars be sort of a large area of quiet. So I didn't want this to be very big at the top, but I wanted to have a little connection to the vanishing point on its edges. And this one, I think I need to cut just a little bit more. Maybe I'll shift this over. Oh, it's so lost though, so maybe it's not like, oh, it is. Okay, just a little slight sliver trim. Some of it's, so this is like a really sort of quiet way to relate to the vanishing point because that edge does, but it's way up there, but it does create a sort of a connection. So I think that'll be nice.
Hello.
Hello there. And you may recognize this familiar voice.
Hi, everybody.
So
you should have brought my stool.
Yeah, bring your stool.
Yeah.
And I'll switch the camera in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So should we? Oh yeah. Okay. Annie says, let's try decollage next jam. You can use decollage regardless of what the prompt is. I try not to use it all the time, but it is tempting. So yeah, I forget what the next prompt is, but absolutely, I might do it too. So that sounds great. Oh, and Kim has put a comment in. She says, hi, everyone. So much good stuff going on in this group. It's true. Congratulations, all. It'd be great if you could post a link to whatever you're in. Yes, please do. That's awesome.
Yeah, in the Virtual Collage Jam group, because, please share newsy things like that so everyone can go take a look and we can take a look.
Yeah. And is MH, is that Michael Hacking? If it is, hello. If it's someone else or Mia Horakova, there are a few options. Anyway, hello, how are you? Let us know who that is. And we're working on, it says Mia, forgive me. I just didn't read the full.
It's all right, you're juggling a lot.
Hello, Mia, nice to have you back, awesome.
Yeah.
So the collage is the prompt is Vanishing Point, so that's what I've been playing with. And Kim says she'll join us. She obviously has. You obviously answered the question as well. So
I did.
And Annie and Cherie say hi to you. So
hi.
Yeah, awesome to have you back. I'm gonna keep going for just a couple more minutes,
Please
and then I'll switch the camera and be able to say hi to Kim visually as well.
And to you again.
Yeah, that's right. So tell us about your summer, Kim.
My summer was mostly about your summer, I think. Don't you think?
It probably was. Actually.
Well, other than getting into ramping up walking,
right,
to rehab after my big accident, and but other than that, it's kind of trying to help you with your many. I tell you, it's been like a hurricane in this house.
Yeah, it really has.
Excuse me.
Did you bring something to drink?
I've done quite a lot of coughing this summer too. So. Yeah. I'll just get my special elixir.
Ooh, that's fun. I'm gonna put that in.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have started the exercise program at Wellspring, the Foundation for Cancer Patients, Survivors, Families, and Caregivers. And it's to improve health, improve survival, reduce recurrence, all of those good things.
All very good things.
And on Sunday, I'm going to be walking in a walk, doing a charity fundraising walk for Wellspring.
That's right.
So I'm actually going to get another newsletter out asking for support,
cool.
however small.
Yeah.
It is an astounding foundation, Wellspring. It's a foundation. It's funded by fundraisers and donations, and it provides programming, extensive, amazing programming, in person and online, to support anybody that falls into those categories at no charge.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Which means I can do this exercise program.
Yeah.
And means, people in very difficult financial circumstances can nonetheless benefit from all kinds of stuff, including peer support and nutrition courses and healing programs. They have qigong, they have sound baths, I do music therapy. They have art therapy, they have groups that meet, they have courses on getting back to work, they have writing courses, they have healing journey, a whole series of courses that really help you go deeper into your healing process, not just medically speaking, but on a more personal level. So anyway, I won't go on and on about it, but
you could, because it's
astounding.
It is
what they do.
Foundation
with a huge, lots of volunteers, and
of course we didn't know anything about it until we were touched by cancer. So
well, it had been mentioned to me by our friend Susan because of her husband having it, and I thought, well, that's great, but I didn't know so much about it, obviously, as I do now. Yeah, the exercise program is completely personalized. It's run by a physiotherapist and a kinesiologist, two women who are amazing at what they do. And the program they devised for me is really working, getting stronger.
It's challenging, but you can do it, which is perfect.
And it doesn't bore me.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems, right?
That is
my brain
for Kim. Yeah.
It doesn't tolerate going through tedious. Yeah, it's funny. I think some more comments came on.
All right, do you want to read them? See, hey, Val is here. Hey, Val. But anyway, I'll let Kim read them, seeing as she's here. She can read them for us. That's nice.
Hi, Jane. Nice to see you here in the chat. Yeah, Val. Just got here. Sorry, I'm really late. So glad you could make it before the end.
Yeah,
it's nice to just see that you're here.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Mia asked, Kim, where can we support you? Is there a link? Amazing that the programming is available. I wonder if they have something like this in London. I doubt it. LHSC is strapped for cash. Yeah, so this is independent of any of the healthcare services. This is a special a foundation set up for the benefit of cancer patients, survivors, and their loved ones and helpers. So let me see if I can quickly call up I do have a personal donation page, but of course the URL is brand new to me, so I don't know if I will
remember it.
Yeah.
But it is quite possible. Wellspring is across the country, not perfectly, but you may well have a chapter where you are.
Yeah, they may. And you know, the music therapy sessions that I do on Zoom, that I take on Zoom, we have people from British Columbia, from Alberta, from Nova Scotia, from PEI, from Ottawa, from all over the country.
Yeah, so if you like singing and you like music, that's.
And there are other programs too. Yeah. They also have self-directed learning on their website. It's actually it's wellspring.ca. So I'll put that in the. But let me try again with that. Oh, of course, I don't have one. Donate. They have a wellspring in Niagara, and they have a wellspring in London and region. So yes to London.
Yeah,
they have a wellspring in Alberta, Brampton, Oakville. Events and fundraisers. Let's see if that takes me there. Support an event. It's called the Big Walk for Wellspring. I might just find myself here. Oh, okay. All right. Yay, I found it.
Yeah, because this is the.
Thank you for asking, Mia. I'm persevering here.
And you can put the link in the chat. Because
yes, that's fine. Okay, I've just put in the chat the direct link to my personal fundraising page on the Wellspring site. Awesome. So that you can sponsor my walk specifically. And the walk is, the track is 2.5 kilometers. I can definitely do 2.5 kilometers. The question will be, they've got a DJ and they've got people cheering and so on. So I'll see if that boosts my spirits and enough to be able to walk 5K, which would be awesome. Just on as a personal achievement after that awful accident to my foot. Nellie says, yes, I'm happy to read you all. Hi, Nellie. Yay. And Mia found the London chapter. Good.
Awesome. Great.
Excellent.
Yeah. I cannot say enough good things about them.
Yeah. They have special programs to support caregivers. and loved ones. Some programs are anyone under that big umbrella can join, and some are meant specifically for patients and survivors. Some are meant specifically for family and caregivers. Janice H says, loving my first jam. Yay!
Yeah, awesome. Welcome aboard, Janice.
And you know Wellspring Toronto. Awesome. So I've never been to the Wellspring in Toronto yet, just the Oakville and Brampton one so far. But one of the people in our music therapy comes from the Niagara Wellspring. Actually, maybe a couple do. Yeah. Great, Mia. It is such a great organization. And actually, the Brampton Wellspring is looking for a qualified art therapist. So if any of you know a qualified art therapist who would be okay to get to Brampton, let me know, or let them know that they should contact Wellspring in Brampton, because I know they're looking for someone. Yeah. Wow, that has such a wonderful zoom effect, Kat.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you.
I love that zoom feeling.
Yeah. So, and in fact, I think at this point we're a few minutes past our 3:30 ending. So.
Oh, did you work in some washi paper?
I worked in some handmade Nepalese paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I think this is as far as I'm going to get. Yeah, it has kind of a zoom feeling, so that's good. Yeah.
I feel like you should have a white backdrop or something.
Right. Hang on, I can do that.
Got some white.
Well, maybe.
Just the backs of some things, maybe. To cut down on the noise.
This will help a little bit anyway. Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
Not enough, but gives you at least an idea. Yeah. So I'll probably add some more to that. But I'm going to try.
Do you want to move the ring light a little closer to you, so like to
really
this corner?
It's really hard to.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, there now you can see this corner better.
Yeah. I'm going to try, knock on wood, to post a few more of my pieces than I usually do this term. So I'll start with this one. I'll add a few more things maybe and then post it. And everyone else, please post your pieces to our Virtual Collage Jam group. If you're not a member, look up Cat Honey Art on Facebook, and then look under my groups and look for Virtual Collage Jam group. You have to request to join, but after I've accepted you, you can post for as long as you like.
Post and comment.
And comment and see what other people have done. So, and it's
a culture of loving support.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to switch the camera here.
Jane asked me, can't I be the art therapist? No, Jane, because I'm not. There is specialized training for art therapy, as there is for music therapy, for the therapy aspect of it. Obviously, there are therapeutic aspects to studio practice in general, and I end up touching on those and helping people through some art traumas and so on that they've experienced in their life, but not as a therapist.
Neither of us
as an artist
have a piece of paper that says we've trained.
And the training.
Well, in the training, I was going to say it's not just a piece of paper, obviously, right?
No.
So, but we haven't trained.
We have a friend who's an art therapist, but her location
wouldn't work.
Work for that. So Janice loves your collage.
Thank you, and so does Val.
Jane says looks good.
Thank you. Thanks for the acceptance. You're very welcome. Cherie says, wonderful to be back. Good night. Great to have you back, Cherie.
And thank you so much for the donation.
Good luck on the walk. Yeah, good luck on the walk, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've never done one of these charity walks before. I've wanted to for many years. You know, I've had a few mishaps. So I'm really thrilled to finally be doing it and to be doing it for this organization that I'm eternally grateful to.
We're so grateful. So, yeah. Thank you, Cherie, for saying, hey guys, hit like. So yeah, before you leave, because Rebecca was hoping to join us, but she I guess hasn't. So she's normally the one who says, make sure to hit like. So yes,
please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Subscribe, please subscribe. That'd be awesome. And Annie, nice to see you again. Awesome. Yeah. Likewise, missed you. So, but we're back in the saddle. And we will see you in a fortnight. Let me just quickly look at my calendar and I'll tell you what the prompt is.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I can't remember.
Well, of course not.
It is car culture. So, so next week, in 2 weeks' time, it is car culture. And so if that's up your alley or not.
Even if it isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
How interesting to do something you don't usually do. And turn it into whatever you want to turn that into.
It could be a critique, it could be a celebration, it could be both, right? I love cars.
Subversion.
I love cars, but I also know they're like this big problem. So yeah, maybe less so the electric ones. So yeah, let's see where that goes. Meanwhile, post in Collage Jam, Virtual Collage Jam group on Facebook, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Great. Take care, everybody.
Great to be back. Great to have you back. And,
likewise.
And we'll see you in a little while. Meanwhile, keep on collaging.
I'm sorry, Mia. There was a problem with PayPal. I actually spoke to them about it today.
Right.
So if you can use another method, that will mean it can just go through.
Or maybe they will solve the PayPal problem.
They're going to try, but it's a weird problem. So, because it's set up, but it's not working. So, sorry about that. I'm the one who discovered it and reported it today. So, because I was trying to do the same. So,
and likewise, Val, it's great to be back. So, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks so much, Mia.
Yeah, thanks.
Love you too.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Maybe bye.
There we go.
There we go.